Hmm, that looks like fun.
Yeah, I think I've got it set up properly. Watch what happens to the magnets.
The laws of attraction are always intuitive. Same deal with friendship.
So here's the classic experiment. We take 100 people, typically college freshmen who've just arrived at school. Some come with newly minted friendships from their dorm, others from their high school, but most of them have never met.
Well, what happens next?
Usually, ice cream happens next.
It's an ice cream social?
A black box experiment?
Exactly. So watch what happens. In all, there are 25 clusters of people in a room for a total of 100 people. Most are in groups of 2s or 3s, with some 4s, 5s, and 6s. At first, people who already know each other stick together. It's about feeling safe, even though most of these people have known one another for less than 24 hours. Next, the early explorers. Most of the 1s and 2s invade the larger groups. There is only a small likelihood of rejection. The larger groups simply become larger. And then, the large groups begin to splinter into smaller groups. Now there are just a few large groups, and many groups of 2s, 3s, and 4s. The few 1s are either attracted by the larger groups, seek out other 1s and 2s because the environment feels safer, or fade into the sidelines. In the next phase, the beginnings of new friendships are evident. The room is now dominated by groups of 2s and 3s, and these reconstituted entities often demonstrate surprising resilience. In fact, when those 100 people were surveyed 3 months later, over 50% stated that their closest friends resulted from the mixer, and from the new groups of 2s and 3s. And over 80% were still close friends a full year after the mixer.
Why?
We have some theories. Remember, these people all attend the same college, so they are more similar than different, and they are attending college, in part to make new friends. So there is intent.
And romance, and one-nighters.
Yes. And some people are there for their own self-interest. But in any group of 100 people who are all in the same brand new environment, we just assume that those behaviors will exist. That is, we don't correct for those behaviors.
So, do opposites attract?
It depends on a lot of factors. Mostly it depends upon orientation, not a simple answer.
It is a simple answer in social psychology. Potential friends tend to be curious about and attracted to those who are more like themselves. We seek out common interests. We look for people who look more like we do, whose way of speaking and thinking feels comfortable and familiar.
So, this experiment, do you get the same results every time? Or does every mixer yield different results?
The answer is yes, within a surprisingly narrow range. We've conducted the same experiment throughout the US and Europe, and the results are always similar. But the results tend to be different in traditional Asian and African cultures, where other factors are at play. More about that in your notebook.
Why are all of my magnets suddenly attracted to Dutch chocolate chip ice cream?